Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss Chapter 7 Conservation of Plants and Animals. Let's warm up. Where can you find these animals? Either in a forest reserve or a park. Name some natural parks and the animals you find there. So students, here look at these pictures. You have to write the name of some animals and the natural parks. Now, let's know about biodiversity in India, wildlife conservation, wildlife sanctuary. So, students, these are the topics we are going to discuss in our chapter. In the past, India was covered with large areas of forest. As the population increased over the years, more and more land was occupied by humans to build cities and to cultivate crops. The good news is that the forest cover in the country has increased by 1% from 20% to 21%. According to the Biennial State of Forest Reports 2017 released by the Forest Survey of India, but this percentage is very small as forests are of utmost importance to the existence and well-being of living organisms of Earth. Some of the important functions of the forest are given below. They provide habitat for various plant and animal species. They provide clean air to breathe for all other living organisms. So student, forest क्या है? पहले इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा forest थे. ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज हुई तो क्या हो गया, फॉरेस्ट को कट करके सिटीज बना दिए गए, टाउन्स बना दिए गए, तो उससे क्या अफेक्ट हो रही है, हमारी वाइल्ड लाइफ अफेक्ट हो रही है. जो हमारे वाइल्ड लाइफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, वाइल्ड लाइफ एनिमल्स हैं, वो अफेक्ट हो रहे हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर जंगल खत्म होंगे तो वो लोग रहेंगे कहाँ. दे कंट्रोल द amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, thereby preventing global warming. They regulate the climate of a region. They prevent soil erosion, thus protecting a valuable resource. They provide useful products such as timber, resin, and gum to humans. It may be defined as a variety of life forms found on our planet in a particular areas. Do you know? The term biodiversity is derived from Greek word bios is equals to life and diversity is equals to variety. It was coined by E.O. Wilson in 1985 and represents the concise form of biological diversity. Here we have biodiversity in India. India has a rich and varied biodiversity because of a variety of habitats such as deserts, grassland, tropical and temperate forests, coastal wetland and alpine vegetation. More than 50% of the total species of plants and animals found on the earth are present in India. Therefore, India is one of the mega biodiversity nations. It has just 2.4% of world's land area but contributes over 8% to the global biodiversity. Western Ghats and Eastern Himalayas have been designated as two of the world's 25 hotspots of global biodiversity. So student, India अगर हम बात करें तो वर्ल्ड के 2.4% ऑफ वर्ल्ड्स लैंड एरिया है, बट हमारे जो डाइवर्सिटी है, बायोडाइवर्सिटी है, वो कितनी है? 8% उसमें हम कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं. ठीक है, बहुत सारी स्पीसीज वर्ल्ड में प्रेजेंट है, बट इंडिया में मोर देन 50% ऑफ टोटल स्पीसीज ऑफ प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स आर फाउंड. सो स्टूडेंट्स, हमारे यहाँ टेम्परेट, ट्रॉपिकल, रेन फॉरेस्ट है, वेटलैंड्स है, एल्पाइन वेजिटेशन है. सो दीज आर द बायोडाइवर्सिटी फाइंड इन इंडिया. Threat to biodiversity. The various factors leading to extinction of wild species and depletion of biodiversity are habitats loss due to increase in human population. Great increase in human population in the last 70 years is responsible for the rapid decline of biodiversity because more and more land is needed for agriculture, housing, for making roads, and for constructing dams, bridges, powerhouses and industry. So student, human population increase होने की वजह से भी biodiversity affect होती है. Here, deforestation and overgrazing. Indiscriminate cutting of trees by humans causes deforestation. Similarly, overgrazing by increased population of cattle and sheep causes shrinkage of grasslands and loss of habitat of wild animals. Look at the picture, we have deforestation. Then pollution. Air and water get polluted with insecticides used in agriculture, toxic elements released from industries and petroleum products. Weak and susceptible species are unable to tolerate the pollutants and are eliminated. So student, pollution की वजह से भी बहुत सारी species क्या हो गई हैं? Eliminate हो गई हैं. Then introduction of exotic species. The species introduced into a new locality from some other area is called exotic species. It competes with the species already existing in that area and may cause extinction of some native species. Then climatic change. Human activities are causing change in the temperature and rainfall pattern. These are responsible for global warming and melting of glaciers. Such changes have adverse effect on biodiversity. Then human greed. International trade in wildlife and wildlife products have threatened the existence of tigers, bears, foxes, elephants and crocodiles, etc. सो स्टूडेंट ये कुछ फैक्टर्स थे जो अफेक्ट करते हैं हमारी बायोडाइवर्सिटी को. नाउ नीड फॉर कंजर्वेशन ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी. कंजर्वेशन ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी इज एसेंशियल बिकॉज ऑफ द फॉलोइंग फैक्ट्स. Biodiversity maintains balance in nature or balance in ecosystem. Wild animals and plants provide a variety of commodities. Wildlife is needed for breeding programs in agriculture, horticulture, sericulture and apiculture, etc. We are a part of nature and all the components of nature are interdependent. Any damage to its biodiversity will threaten the whole support system and will be threat to human existence. Therefore, biodiversity needs to be conserved. Then, flora and fauna. The plants found typically in particular area from the flora of that area. The term fauna represents the wild animals found in a particular place or a particular geographical region. For example, trees of jamun, mango, guava, pine, cheer, oak, deodar, bamboo from the flora of Himachal Pradesh, and the trees dhak, salai, jamun, arjun and bear from the flora of Rajasthan. Tiger, leopard, antelope, samber, chinkara, nilgai, porcupine, hyena and wild boar represents the fauna of Rajasthan. Then endemic species. Some species of plants and animals are found exclusively in a particular area and do not occur naturally anywhere else. Such species are called endemic species to the state or country and geographical area. For example, lion is endemic to Gir forests in Gujarat. Himalayan mussels is endemic to Himalayan region. Snow leopard is endemic to Himalayan range found from Kashmir to Sikkim. Wild mango and sal trees are endemic too. Look at the pictures, students. We have lion, babbar say Himalayan vessels, wild mango, sal trees. Forest conservation and management. Conservation of forest is required to ensure a regular supply of forest products along with maintaining ecological balance. This can be achieved by adopting the following ways. Students, look at the picture. We have snow leopard. Forest resources should be used rationally, economically and miserly. Alternative sources of fuel wood should be explored. Biogas is a good alternative to fuel wood. Preventing overgrazing. Grazing by the cattle should be regulated. Protection from fire, pests and disease. Forest should be protected from fire by putting restrictions on smokers, campers for burning debris and from pest and disease. Felling of trees should be made punishable activity. The government of India has put complete restriction on cutting of trees. Afforestation. Replanting trees in forest is called afforestation. Central and state governments have taken several afforestation programs to restore the forests forever. Now, general awareness. It is necessary to create general awareness in the people for forest conservation through different media and mass movements. So, students, आपको फॉरेस्ट के रिगार्डिंग जनरल अवेयरनेस भी होनी चाहिए कि आप लोगों को अपने फॉरेस्ट को कंजर्व करना है. नाउ वी हैव वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन. वाइल्ड लाइफ बेसिकली रेफर्स टू ऑर्गेनिजम्स लिविंग इन देयर नेचुरल हैबिटेट्स लाइक टाइगर्स एंड एलिफेंट्स इन डेंस फॉरेस्ट, crocodiles and alligators in natural water bodies and trees and shrubs in jungle. So student, वो वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन किसके लिए है? जो अपने ओरिजिनल या नेचुरल हैबिटेट्स में रहते हैं. नाउ वी हैव causes of wildlife conservation. Wildlife is valuable biological resource. The various factors responsible for wildlife destruction and depletion are as follows. The first we have habitat loss. The destruction of natural habitats of animals by deforestation disturbs the life growth and reproductive potential of wild animals. Then, indiscriminate hunting, indiscriminate killing and poaching of wild animals for food, skin, fur, horn, tusk, etc. has caused reduction and elimination of many wild animals. Then pollution. Air, water and soil pollution is also responsible for death and elimination of sensitive wild animals. So students, pollution की वजह से भी क्या होता है, बहुत सारे हमारे जो wild animals हैं वो उनकी death हो रही है. Now we have threatened species. The species of plants and animals whose members are greatly reduced in number or near to extinction are called threatened species. The International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources IUCN has classified threatened species into the following categories. So student, threatened species वो हैं जो extinct होने वाली हैं, that is threatened species. Now we have endangered species. E. The species which are not likely to survive and will soon become extinct if the same causative factors continue are called endangered species. Indian rhinoceros, Asiatic lion, lion-tailed macaque, crocodile and blue whale are some examples of endangered species. So students, ये वो species है जो क्या हो रही है, धीरे धीरे extinct हो रही है. Now we have check and mate. You can do it by yourself as we already read about these things. Now we have vulnerable species. These are species which are likely to move to endangered category in near future. If causative factors continue to operate, Chinkana deer, black buck and golden langur are examples of vulnerable species. So student, ये वो species हैं जो in future कहाँ जाएंगी, endangered species पे. Now we have some pictures. Look at the pictures. Indian rhinoceros, crocodile, Asiatic lion, lion-tailed macaque and then blue whale. Now come to the next students, we have rare species. These species are such species that exist in small numbers, are localized only in certain geographical areas and may enter into vulnerable category. Golden cat, elephant, wild buffalo and Asiatic wild ass are some examples. So students, rare species जो कुछ एक proper geographical areas में ही मिलती हैं. Okay students, now look at some pictures we have here. Chinkana deer, then we have Asiatic wild ass, elephant, wild buffalo, golden cat. Do you know 22 May is celebrated as the International Biodiversity Day. Okay students, now Red Data Book. Red Data Book contains a record of all those species of plants and animals which are under the threat of extinction or are rare and vulnerable for extinction. The Red Data Book is being maintained by IUCW Switzerland. Now this is known as World Conservation Union. This book provides information about the distribution and status of threatened species and guides their conservation programs. So student, रेड डेटा बुक एक बुक है जिसमें इन सब स्पीसीज का क्या होता है, एक डेटा होता है कि कौन सी स्पीसीज इंडेंजर्ड है, कौन सी थ्रेटन्ड है एंड ऑल द थिंग्स अबाउट दैट. नाउ wildlife sanctuaries. A sanctuary is a protected area reserved for the conservation of wild animals, birds and plants. Hunting is strictly prohibited here. In India, there are 492 wildlife sanctuaries. So students, wildlife sanctuary क्या होती है? Protected area होता है, reserved होता है for conservation of wild animals. यहाँ पर hunting strictly ban होती है और इंडिया में 492 wildlife sanctuaries हैं. Now, biosphere reserves. A biosphere reserve is a specified land area in which multiple use of land is permitted for preserving biodiversity. It is divided into 3 zones for different activities. First, we have core zone, where no human activity is permitted. Buffer zone, where limited human activity is allowed. Then, manipulation zone, where several human activities are permitted. So, students, ये biosphere के क्या है, zones हैं और इनमें चीजें limited होती हैं कि किस जोन में क्या एक्टिविटी हो सकती है. Here we have, there are 243 biosphere reserves in the world, including 14 in India. A biosphere reserve helps in maintaining the biodiversity as well as the culture of that area. A biosphere reserve may also contain other protected areas like national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. For example, Panchmari Biosphere Reserves includes Satpura National Park and 2 wildlife sanctuaries, Bori and Panchmari. Here we have some wildlife projects in India. Now students, we are going to read about the wildlife projects of India. The government of India has started some breeding projects to save endangered species. Some of them are Project Tiger, Gir Lion Project, Crocodile Breeding Project, Himalayan Musk Deer Project, Rhino Conservation Project, etc. Now we have Project Tiger. Project Tiger was launched in 1973 to save tigers from hunting. Under this project, 23 tiger reserves have been established in India. Then, Gir Lion Project. This project was started by the government of Gujarat in 1972 to protect Asiatic lion. Here, cheetahs are extinct animals in India brought from Namibia. 8 African cheetahs are freed on the grassland of Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh in central India. They are brought from Namibia under an agreement between the India and the Namibian governments. So students, इस तरह से हम क्या कर रहे हैं, अपने animals को protect कर रहे हैं. Now students, what we learn in this chapter, we are going to discuss it in a nutshell. Wildlife Sanctuary, National Park and Biosphere Reserve are names given to the areas meant for conservation and preservation of forest and wild animals. Biodiversity refers to the variety of living organisms in a specific area. Plants and animals of a particular area are known as the flora and fauna of that area. Endemic species are found only in particular area. Endangered species are those which are facing the danger of extinction. Red Data Book contains a record of endangered species. Now students, we have some keywords here. Biodiversity. Variety and variability found in organisms living in a specific area. Biosphere. The part of Earth's surface and atmosphere where there are living things. Deforestation. The cleaning of forest for using the land for other purpose. Desertification, withdrawing or removal of a certificate or certification from a person or organization. Endemic species, those plants and animals that exist only in one geographical region. Extinct, when no more individual of a species alive anywhere in the world. Fauna, the animals of a particular region. Flora, the plants of a particular region. Thank you students. We will meet again in the next chapter. Till then, revise what we learned today.